Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluwayemisi if you already don't know, and yes, some people call me Shante. So I'm back again with another makeup tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys my updated foundation, highlights and contour routine. So if you like to see all the good stuff and how I get my makeup to stay popping, then keep watching. As you can already tell, my voice that you're hearing right now is not in real time. That's because I forgot to put on my microphone again. Sorry about that. So I'm starting off first of all with applying some moisturizer on my face, and I'm using the Opal Lux Frozen Water in Greek Goddess just to get that healthy glow going up on my face before we apply all the foundations and products. Next, I'm following up with my No7 Boots primer, which is my all-time favorite primer. It's not being sold any longer because it's no longer being produced, but once the one I have finishes, I really don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do without this primer, really. So I'm going on top of that with another priming spray from ColourPop, and I'm just going to use my fingers to pat that into my skin till it dries off and disappears. So unfortunately, I just realized that my microphone has been off the entire time, so I've been talking to myself. This is the second time this is going to happen to me, and it is so annoying. Like, I'm so mad at myself because I had spoken so much, I've said a lot, and it's all a waste. So what I was saying before I put on my microphone is that after priming my face, first of all, I moisturize. After I moisturize, then I apply the No7 Boots primer. Then I go over that with the ColourPop's Crystal Priming Spray. I let that sink into my skin and dry. Then I go on to apply more products, like my skin products. So I go into my LaGirl Orange Corrector. This is what I use to correct my face. And I basically just put this under my eyes, around my nose and my mouth, and where I think I have like very obvious black spots. I have like little tiny spots on my face, but it doesn't bother me because I know the foundation is going to take care of that. But there are some that are like seriously stubborn, like this one right here, and like one or two over here. Just very, you don't have to use this much. I try not to use so much myself, but you know, like what we call so much or like a lot is relative. I use this foundation brush. It is the brush I'll use for my foundation, and I use this to blend the orange corrector. I use a beauty blender sometimes too, but that like packs away a lot of the product. Now let me just mention to you at this point that the job of the orange corrector is not to cover dark spots. If you have like more obvious or glaring dark spots, you might want to go in with the concealer before you apply your foundation. So most of the time, what informs my decision to use a brush or a blending sponge to blend out my corrector depends on how much corrector I've put on my face. If I use like a lot of corrector, because you can't really judge from this applicator, you might think you pressed the beauty and then a lot goes on. I use the beauty sponge to blend it out because that would then pack off the excess. But if I think I've used a fair amount, I just blend with my brush. Now for foundation, I generally have my staple products, like the foundations that I gravitate towards all the time. But for this video, I'm not going to be using any of my 3 favorite foundations. I just got sent this TWOK London foundation, and I'm going to be trying this out today, giving my first impressions, like generally like a review on it, because it's new to the market, and since it's also going to be an affordable brand of foundation, I think, I'm not so sure, I'm going to be using it today, and we're going to see how it works out on my skin. This is what it looks like. It's not round, it has like that squares and the rectangles all around it. So it has a pump as well, which I like. So I'm going to be using this foundation today, and what I'm just going to be doing is that I'm going to be pressing. It has a thicker consistency. It's just like the Haga and Esther foundation. Like, it's not a watery consistency, and I'm guessing that's because it's going to be like medium to full coverage, but we're gonna see. I hope this shade is right. I haven't tried this foundation before, but I just believe that it's gonna work out right. So then I'm going to use the brush that I've been using earlier on, and I'm just going to use that to blend this all over my face. Yeah, the shade isn't bad from what I can see. And whenever I use a brush to blend my foundation, I don't swipe, like I don't drag on. I kind of like pat on the brush, roll it like in very small circular motions, and just like move it around my face, like dab
and like slightly roll. Then it's very imperative for you to drag the foundation like down to your neck. I don't normally use like foundation on my neck, but I ensure that there are no harsh lines demarcating the neck from the face. Then I also put this, try as much as possible to get into my hairline. Now from what I can see, this actually goes on matte because like I can see that it's drying on my face, which is good for weak girls that have oily skin. Also, there are certain people that have like wider noses, and then they have like this space right here that products would normally not get through. So you want to make sure that your foundation gets to the corners of your nose. So when I've blended this and I'm good, I usually go in with a setting spray. For today, I'm going to be using the No7 Boots Seal It makeup fixing spray. I spray this over the foundation. Use a beauty sponge and further like push this foundation into my skin. So I mix it with the setting spray and it cements it on my face. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but this technique has actually changed my makeup life. It actually helps my makeup to stay on, and it gives me like a very smooth and clean like skin work. This would actually take off the excess and then plaster the product on your face. Like it ain't gonna move nowhere. So I'm just going to dab on that. As I'm dabbing, I'm pushing into the skin. Like it looks really smooth right now. I can tell you, even if you can't see it, I can see it from a mirror and it looks very smooth. Now that I'm done with the foundation, I'm going to move on to concealing, like highlighting. And what I've been using like over the past months, which I love so much, is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This concealer right here, like it blends like a dream. It covers everything. It actually gives you like a very nice highlighted look. And because I'm not one to spend like a fortune on concealers and foundations, most of the time when I use expensive stuff, it's because I was given. This ColourPop concealer is just $6 and it does like amazing work. I think you can get this from beautybankng. They stock this and they sell it for like 4,200. So what I do is that I use the wand of this concealer. The wand is great as well. It's flexible. You can move it around. It doesn't poke your under eyes and your skin and stuff like that. So I put this under my eyes. It's also very full coverage, so you don't have to use a lot towards my nose, just to give me that contoured look. This much is fine. I might use more, but trust me, this much is okay. We'll do the work for you. And you can see that I'm also putting it in the corners of my nose because, as I said, you don't want to leave that place like empty, because then it's going to be dark and that's where your foundation is going to start creasing from. A little on my forehead because I think I have a big forehead, so I don't use so much there. So now that this is done, I like to blend my concealer first before I contour. Just my preference. Yes, so I then go back to my beauty sponge or my blending sponge. I'm using the blending sponge from Care Pro, which is also a Nigerian brand. I like Nigerian brands like a lot. I think that they are doing great and I just like to support them. So I'm going to be using the top of this beauty sponge. Remember, I use the bottom to blend the foundation and the setting spray. I'm going to be using the top, the pointed part, to blend out my under eye concealer. It's advisable to start from the outer corner, just to blend this right before you go into the under eye proper. Then because I don't have my eye makeup on now, I'm just going over my eyelid with the concealer as well. Yeah, you see what I mean when I say the concealer like blends, like no patches whatsoever, it just blends like really smoothly. Now the idea of cream highlighting is to brighten up your face in specific areas that you want to like pull people in. So you want to ensure, you want to like try not to get the concealer over your whole face. You just want to make them stay right under this place, right on your chin, just a very tiny portion of your cupid's bow, right here, and on your, for just this middle part. You don't want to take it all over, because then you're going to, because you're using a lighter concealer, not really like a white concealer, but a lighter concealer than your normal skin tone. You don't want to put it all over the face, because then you're going to just be looking really light and you don't want that. So now that I've blended this, I'm good. I turn to the other side of the beauty sponge, which is the side I used to blend my concealer, and I just go over the edges of the concealer with the rest of my face. This is to ensure that even though I was careful not to have any ash lines, if there are any, it's going to like blend it out. And also, I don't normally apply concealer to reverse contour because I just think my face is long on its own, I don't need that much definition before I go and start looking like a doll. So I normally just use a powder over that. So for cream contouring, if I'm going for a lighter, like an everyday makeup look, I wouldn't cream contour. Most of the time when I want to cream contour, I normally use the Black Opal stick foundation in BlackWalnut. I don't use a liquid foundation or stuff to contour because I think that is just more difficult for me to manage. So what I do is that I don't even go putting this on my face, because then you end up using too much product, and I don't want to use so much product to cream contour. I just want it very, very light. I want it to look like an illusion, not like it's going to be so obvious that yeah, she has contour on and the contour is from here to here. Yeah, this is where she contoured. I don't want that, and I want the highlights and the contour to transition into each other and all that good stuff. So I'm going to take a little of the product and a brush. I'm using this angled foundation contour face brush. Now I'm not particular about brushes, but I just find a brush that does what it's supposed to do, and I use it. I tap onto the foundation. I'm not dragging it over the foundation, I'm just tapping onto it so that I get only a little product. Then I use the brush, put the brush over where I want to contour. I don't know if you can see like the difference it's already making. It's very, very light, and I just keep building this up till I'm satisfied. So I go over my forehead as well towards my hairline. As I'm doing this, like I'm blending into the highlights and into like my foundation so that there are no harsh lines. Then I also like go under my jawline just to give the illusion of a slimmer face. But I do this very lightly, like it's not necessary, honestly. I don't know if you can already see that definition from where my face was looking all just bland and light to like just the proper gradient of colors and lights. Then for my nose, I use a smaller angled blending brush. This one is from Hush Beauty, which is also a Nigerian brand. I just do the same thing that I did with the bigger brush. I tap on the foundation and I just use that to define my nose, and I'm going to be very careful not to have like a sharp or harsh line. I'm just dragging this down just to blend it some more into the highlights, and I blend the contour like to the under of my brows. So after I have done this again, I'll go back into the blending brush, the foundation side, and I just like blend the whole of my face with that again. You can never blend enough. Like this is exactly how to avoid harsh lines. You just keep blending. And now that the cream products are like on my face, we're going to move on to setting with powder products. I normally like to start with setting my contour first for no particular reason. So I'm going to use the same brush that I used to apply the cream contour and this Maybelline powder in cacao. You can use any darker powder, and if I wasn't cream contouring, this is also the powder that I would use to like define my face. I'm going to tap onto it the way I have done before, dust off the excess, and just do basically the same thing I did with the cream contour, just going over that. What the powder contour does is that it enhances the contour a bit more. It's very, very important to blend this out, not use too much product. Then for the nose, I'll use the same brush that I used for the cream contour, and I'm just going to do the same thing to it. Now to set my highlights, if you guys have already noticed, I don't like to bake. Actually, I don't even like to use the beauty sponge to apply the powder under my eyes, because I just think that the Sacha buttercup setting powder, which is what I use all the time, it's like too yellow, and when you pack on too much, it's more difficult to blend out and let it match like it's more difficult to get like that natural feel from it. So what I do is that I take a very little powder, this small brush, or this bigger brush. I use this one to get to the corner of my under eyes. Then for the other side, I'll use like this bigger brush, which has like a dense, the brushes or the bristles are dense, they're not tightly packed, they're like freer. So I'm going to take like the powder with the brush, and I'm just going to put that in my under eye. You might want to look up when you're doing this so that it gets to all the corners. Then I'll take this other bigger brush and use that to like set every other place that I put the concealer. Like this is bigger, it will get all the places that I applied the concealer, but it's not likely to get to my under eyes without it poking my eye. And at this point, I'm going to use the powder to reverse contour with this same brush. So what I just do is to, this is just to like give my face some more definition in addition to all the definition that I have going on. At this point, I go over the whole of my face with the Zaron Maxi Blend Compact Powder and this very big fluffy powder brush. I just like use this to even out all the colors and the powders that are going on my face. And this powder is in my skin tone. This is the powder that I take to my neck, chest area and all of that. And now we've come to the point where I get my glow game on. And for highlighting my face, most of the time I gravitate towards the Eye Candy Cosmetics Illumination Palette. I mix both together like this with my brush, which is also dense as well. It's not tightly packed together. I see some people applying highlights with like a brush that is tightly packed together, that is very defined. And I don't know how people do it, but if I try that, then I'm going to look a mess. Like seriously, I'm going to look a mess. So I don't try things that I'm not comfortable with. I use like a small fluffy brush, like something that can be used for your blush, because it's supposed to just like drop the color on there. It's not supposed to pack it. After I must have applied it on the brush, I then like smile to get the eye points of my cheeks, but sometimes I don't have to smile because it's my face. I know everything about my face. Then I just rub this very lightly, like so. And also I guess that some people, they apply the setting spray before applying the highlights. It works for them. I don't do that because then I get to pack on too much highlights and I don't like, I'm yet to master that technique. The same thing that I've done. Look at that glow. Then I put some highlights on my Cupid's bow as well, on the tip of my nose, very lightly. I mean like just like this, you don't need so much. And where my nose goes in, like the curve right here, the deepest point, I just apply some highlights there too. Then I just put a little here. I'm not adding more products, just to run that on the brush. Just, yeah, that's basically all I do for highlighting. So after highlighting, I go with another fluffy dense brush. This is slightly bigger than the one I used to highlight. I've been using the MAC blush in Breezy lately. I also use the Sleek blush in the shade Flushed. That is actually a very good blush for brown skin. Like, it's brilliant. So what I do is that I take my brush, tap onto the blush very lightly, dust off the excess, and then I would go in between my contour and my highlight and I just tap onto that, like just right in the middle, just like that. The very last thing that I do is to apply my setting spray, and I'm using the No7 Boots makeup fixing spray. I'm going to spray this judiciously all over my face. So this is really going to help the makeup like melt into my skin and then just plasters everything on my face for the whole day. So I'm going to let this dry off, and while that is drying, I'm going to move on to do my eye makeup with my lashes and all that good stuff, and I'll show you guys. Yeah, apply my lipstick and then I'll show you guys the final. Stay tuned. So guys, I've gone ahead to do my eyes, do my lips, and this is the completed look. So the focus of this tutorial was on the skin, and I hope you like how it turned out. This is what it looks like. So I hope you learned one or two things from this makeup tutorial. I hope you like it. So basically, like, the products that I used today that I've not been using before are the Opal Luxe Glow Goddess Bronzing Butter, which I used to moisturize my face before I went on to prime, and the TWOK London foundation. This is the first time I'm going to be trying this, and overall my makeup still came out the way it normally comes out. Like, I don't feel like there's any difference in my routine, and that is actually a very good thing because I used a whole new foundation. I've never tried it on before. I like how it turned out. Like, and for the glow right here that is going on right here, I don't know if you can see it, and what I use as my moisturizer, it is this product right here. It smells just like shea butter, but it has like the tiny specks of glitters and particles in it, so it kind of like bronzes up the skin and gives it like a nice healthy glow. So that is what is responsible for all of this going on right here. And just in case you're wondering, my hair is also the Fox Locks from Beauty Gallery NG. You can check them out on Instagram. They're my plug when I want to get like extensions for my hair. So that's basically the overall look. The last thing I'm going to do for you guys is that I'm going to leave on this makeup, go all out. I have like a church program because you know I'm a church girl. And then when it's over, that will be very late, like 10ish. Yeah, right now it's around 3:30. I'm going to come back and show you how the makeup stayed, if all the products and all the techniques I used, if it was worth it and if it worked for me. So until then. So yes, I'm back again after a very long day. I just got back home and right now it is 10:50. It's like 10:50 p.m. like just about an hour to midnight, and I've had this makeup on since I think when I spoke to you last and said I was gonna go, it was like 3:30 or thereabouts. So it's safe to say I've had this makeup on for 7 hours plus. I must say that I'm pretty impressed with the foundation, the TWOK London foundation, because right now I haven't touched up at all. I haven't even patted or dabbed on my face in it. I haven't just touched my face. Like, this is what I look like literally like after 7 to 8 hours of using the foundation. Of course I have some oil peeking through, but that's to be expected. Like, as I said, my face is very oily. Still like my makeup, like I still think that it's popping. So yeah, like the foundation, for me, I give it a thumbs up. It's really great. Like, it has impressed me. I have no issues whatsoever with it. I'm not disappointed in any way. Really comfortable with how it looks right now. So to tap off excess oil on my face, what I do is I get a thin sheet of tissue paper and I just like, I don't drag, I just do something like this, just press it on the areas that I think are oily. So if I still needed to go out, what I would do right now is just to go over my face with some powder again and then work on good for like another 5 to 6 hours. Yeah, I can't wear this makeup longer because I need to get ready for bed. I'm really tired, and as you can see, I don't even have smile lines. Normally I always have smile lines, but today I don't do any baking in particular to this area or putting some concealer, but there are no smile lines, so that's a good one. I hope you guys really enjoyed my foundation highlights and contour routine. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things. I hope you are subscribed to this channel so that you can see more videos and I can share more tips and tricks of how to do my makeup with you guys. Until next time, thank you for staying. If you made it to the end of this video, I know it's pretty long. Thank you very much. I appreciate you and I love you. So until next time, see ya.